So the initials in Ford's line of ST performance vehicles stand for Sport Technologies, but I'm going to be honest and tell you that I used to think they stand for Street Tuned. Either way, the idea of an Explorer ST sounds pretty good. The Ford Explorer has been updated for 2025. While it's not all new, it does get a couple of nice little tweaks. Prices start at $41,380 for a 300 horsepower active, but we're taking a look at the top of the line ST. Starts at $55,835 for a rear-wheel drive model. So you can actually do burnouts and donuts in one of these, but this particular one is an all-wheel drive model, which costs an extra $2,000. They both come with a 400 horsepower, 3-liter turbocharged V6 that also cranks 415 pound-feet of torque through a 10-speed automatic transmission. The ST also gets a Sport Tune suspension that lowers the ride height about a ½ inch compared to the other Explorer models, plus these unique 21-inch wheels that are wrapped in Pirelli Scorpion Zero tires and wrap around a set of performance brakes that come with these snazzy red calipers. All Explorers come with a trailer hitch and a 5,000 pound tow rating, but the ST straddles it with these quad exhausts that aren't exactly what they look like. Not exactly sure why Ford decided to go with that design, but if you're standing back here loading up the cargo area, it does keep the exhaust from blowing straight into your legs. And that's a pretty good cargo area. The biggest styling update the Explorer gets for 2025 is the dashboard, which has a much sleeker look, with this nice shelf for the charging pad and a new touchscreen display that switches from portrait to landscape orientation. It's used to control a new infotainment system called the Ford Digital Experience, which has Apple CarPlay and Android Auto smartphone integration, but also Alexa and Google Play apps, including search engines and video players. You can enjoy listening to me talk whenever you're parked. Ford did get rid of a lot of buttons and knobs, and the climate controls have moved to the screen, but there is still a volume knob and a couple of buttons for certain features, including quick access to the 360-degree camera system. As for second and third row comfort, this comes only in a 6-seat configuration with these captain's chairs, and there's a lot of legroom for a 6'1" passenger to fit behind a 6'1" driver. You also get some climate controls, power, and these sort of unusual cup holders. But there are also cup holders in the doors. Now, as far as the third row is concerned, I wouldn't fit back there too well right now, but if I scooch this up a little bit, which you can, and slide back here, actually do fit. Not fantastically, but it's not bad either. And little kids probably won't complain. They even get their own vents. Along with all the performance gear, the ST has a full array of drive modes, which include settings for slippery surfaces and trails, even though this isn't exactly dressed for off-roading, but also an eco mode, and most importantly, a sport mode. 400 horsepower used to be muscle car territory, and it still feels pretty good. Explorer ST only weighs about 4,700 pounds and can accelerate to 60 miles an hour in the 5-second range. But it has a very hefty feel that you don't get in a lot of crossover SUVs, has a lot of substance to it. The suspension is taut but not too firm, and really keeps the body under control on a twisty road. Many utility vehicles would be wobbling around like a 10-pin after a split on this road. And even though this has relatively low profile tires, it's soaking up this broken pavement like a sponge. I'm really not hating it. Not harsh at all. Sport mode puts the transmission into a more aggressive setting and also turns up the volume on the engine. Sure, a lot of that's digitally enhanced, but it's not bad. The seats have nice bolsters to hold you in place in the curves and this grippy Miko upholstery. In fact, the only major option for this vehicle is the $2,995 Sun and Sound package that adds a massage function to the seats, a 14-speaker audio system with 980 watts, and this giant sunroof, which also has a giant cover that I'm leaving closed right now. Speaking of the roof, for $4,895, Ford will paint it black. Or you could just get the Explorer in black and get a black roof with it. I always have mixed feelings about performance SUVs, but this one's not over the top. In fact, you can get this engine in the more luxurious Explorer Platinum trim. But I do like how the suspension tidies up the ride, and I'm sure that horsepower is great if you're going to be using this for towing things like horse trailers. And if you're planning to spend a lot of time on the highway, this comes with the Ford Blue Cruise hands-free highway driving system, which does require a subscription to operate. Ford offers a couple of different plans. But maybe the best thing included with the price is that this comes with a day at the Ford Racing School ST Experience, where you learn how to drive one of these like you stole it, and not yours. You get to use the school's Explorer ST. The only caveat is that you have to get yourself to one of the schools, which are in Park City, Utah, and Asheville, North Carolina. But if you drive this there, I think it'll be a pretty good trip.